I am a 41-year-old beginner. I'm a 41-year-old woman with a award-winning media career behind me, and I am beginning my YouTube journey today. I am beginning imperfect. Your girl is used to showing up in front of a screen with a full face. I don't have on mascara. My hair is in a messy bun. I don't feel like how I normally feel when I'm on camera, which is as close to perfect as I can get. I had a lot of excuses that kept me stalling to make this first video. But here I am. I am Letitia Barriola, and this is the Letitia Barriola Show. Hello to my podcast listeners over on audio, Apple and Spotify. What's up? What's up? Your girl can now be found on YouTube, so you can watch me talk instead of just listening to me talk. If you want to stay listening and not switch over, fine too. But I am here and I have a lot to share with you. And I want to start with why I've been hiding. Now, first, I want to say I'm not up here just talking to talk and to hear myself talk. I hope that in sharing the layers within me, that you will find courage within yourself. As I am open about my journey, whatever it may be on this show, I hope you will see some of yourself within me and that you feel more courageous, a little bit more alive in your pursuit of purpose, in pursuit of God, pursuit of feeling alive in your everydayness. Please know that I'm not going to be up here yapping and sharing just for the sake of it. I want to build a legacy, a media legacy. I want to monetize my gifts so I can support my kids and my grandkids. And I want to see you, my friend, impacted. All right. The reason why this is really a big deal for me to be with a messy bun and no mascara on this YouTube is because I've been hiding for a couple of years and I'm working through sort of how that happened. But me being here is a full circle moment. For those of you who have followed my career, you can YouTube my name and see me just up on people's TVs for years before I had kids, straight out of college. In college, I've been on TV for over a decade. And so why would it be hard for someone like me to just start a YouTube channel? What is the deal? Well, here's where I think some of you can relate. I found myself getting really busy with doing other people's, like producing other people's work, which is part of my business that I'm very super grateful for. I still have clients in, and that's something that I do. But I found a way to sort of hide myself and tone down my true gift in helping to elevate other people's voices, which I still love to do. Don't get me wrong. But I think what I've learned in that is that I can't get lost in the grind. And sometimes when you get lost in the grind, your purpose kind of starts to, just not become a priority. It's just something that's in the background that you dream about, that you quietly work on. But for whatever reason, sometimes life gives you a lot of responsibility and a lot of work, and you sideline that. And that's what happened to me. I also have realized that going from being just as glamorous as you can be on TV. Okay, think about it. I was a news anchor. I was waking people up every day, and I really had to look my best every day. So that means hair laid, makeup done, the brightest, best dress I could find, my Spanx. And when you leave in the great lighting, HD cameras, when you leave that, you really have to find yourself again, like your physical self. Uh, I have found I don't necessarily look like I looked when I was bright and shiny as a news anchor. And I think it's easy to get on somebody's camera when you're on 10. And now that I'm sort of out of the life of being a TV news anchor, I found I had the same concerns as everybody else. Like I don't want to get on somebody's camera when I don't feel and look my best. Like before I didn't have a choice. That camera was going to be live at 4 a.m. no matter if I was ready or not. But now I had a choice. And I found that when I had a choice to show up and a choice to show up in my true, authentic, vulnerable self, um, it wasn't such an easy choice to make. And so, because podcasting is an audio form, I've found so much freedom in just giving you my voice and that's it. Just giving you my voice and that's it. Giving you my voice and that's it. But I was holding back. Even as a professional, I knew the industry was changing rapidly. I produce podcasts for a living and I saw, oh my gosh, in droves, people are moving to YouTube. Eyeballs, attention is going to YouTube. Here you are calling yourself a communicator and someone who wants to make an impact and for God to use your voice across the world. But I was hiding in a medium in an audio form that you got really dig. And I was in this little tiny corner of the world. I wasn't promoting it like I really needed to. I was just showing up for my audience faithfully, not consistently, not on camera, just deep, deep below the layers of media. When I knew deep down that God has called me to be a leader with my voice to spread love and light and freedom, talk about Him and His impact on my life and who He is and who I am, like, right? I knew this, but I just found like the easiest way to kind of get away with it. And being very busy in my work helped to do that. So here's what I want you to take away from this, my friend. If there's something you know in your gut you were called to do, that you were designed and created to do, but you have found a million and one ways to avoid doing it, let this be your reminder that it's never too late, right? I'm 41, I almost said 42. Um, Lived a lot of life already, but I'm a beginner again. And I'm beginning in a way that's a bit imperfect. Y'all, I don't even have my microphone with me. I don't have the camera that I wanted to use with me. This is not how I wanted to show up. But because I found myself sort of making excuses, I was spending all this time in a Google Doc writing all my thoughts, going back and tweaking my thoughts and getting the outline. And then today I was like, well, I could do it today, but I'm like, no, I'll just do it when I get home. You don't have any mascara on. You don't even have your microphone. So forgive me, it doesn't sound or look the best. But this right here is winning for me because just I stopped making excuses and I'm showing up as I am. This is a win for me. And let it be for you too. Don't let any more excuses hold you back. So I'm tired of sort of hiding my gift, and here I am. I'm also realizing that the competition, the race to get more and more of your attention is hot and heavy, and it's only going to increase. These media companies are looking for original creators and voices. This is all good stuff, right? But I realize that people are spending hours, like 6, 7, 8 hours on their phone and a screen. A huge chunk of that they're spending taking in content from other people. I'm not saying I'm not guilty of this, but I am trying to find more ways to detach, to detether myself from the onslaught of content. But I kind of had this moment with myself where I wanted to pose the question, am I a consumer or am I a creator? Who do I want to be? Because I feel like you're going to be one or the other. The powers that be that are coming after your attention, your eyeballs, your ears, it's very important that they get more ground. Let's just say that. And it is very hard to resist that movement for your attention. So I am deciding I want to be a creator. Listen, if I can't beat them, join them. And so I'm going to join. Oh, you're looking for more creators to fill the billions of hours that are being watched? Well, I have something to say, and I think it will make the world a better place. I think it will give glory to God. I think it'll make someone smile, feel less alone, learn something. So for you, my friend, you also need to know if you have thought about sharing your voice, whether it's Substack that's super hot right now or something like YouTube, I think at some point we're going to have to make a decision. But there's probably a third option, which is like get off the grid entirely. But it's like, are you going to create? Are you going to be a creator? Are you going to be a consumer? Are you going to just get off the grid? Because the race for your eyeballs and your attention and what influences you is only heating up. And so I'm trying to be like, whoo, I can feel it being on my phone and scrolling and listening and reading and taking in everyone's thoughts and opinions. Like I am just like the next one. It's so easy to spend. Oh, there goes 2 hours here and there, just getting this and getting that. I have decided that's a dangerous, slippery slope for me. And instead of spending time consuming so much, what if I spent my time creating? I also didn't let my beginnerness stop me. Is that a word? I don't know. But listen, um, YouTube intimidated me for a while. It there's a lot going on. Thumbnails. Oh man, really, really great hooks and SEO. Um, but I found myself having to learn it for my clients because I'm encouraging my clients to move into YouTube. But I also was like, okay, if I'm going to show up, I need to understand what I'm dealing with. I am a beginner. I am an award-winning news journalist who has built productions with one of the most famous actors in the world. Oh, can't wait to tell that story. Like I have been to the mountaintop. I know how to do pretty much it all. Why do I feel intimidated by YouTube? Well, there you have it. It was just felt like a lot. So instead of just being in that, you know, cycle of thinking, I started to learn about it. I got an actual book. I bought a book about YouTube. Hadn't finished it, nowhere near finishing it, but I started reading it. I signed up for a brilliant masterclass with Glow. I paid $500 and I sat myself in that class to learn how she has figured out how to monetize, how she's figured out how to discipline, the consistency. Yes, ma'am, I did. I did. Because one thing about me, and I hope this encourages you, is that it is okay to be a beginner. And if you are a beginner, might as well approach it like I need to learn. I need to learn. I got to figure out what do the best of the best, what do they know about this industry? I've never been afraid to do that and to put myself around winners, put myself in proximity to people who are ahead of me. I will happily pay you my money, my dollars, because I know that that investment is into my momentum and expands my expertise even more. And so I embraced being a beginner. One thing that has kept me since I left news in 2021, wow, it's almost been 5 years, where I was constantly on a screen, unafraid to get up on somebody's phone or TV. I found myself when you're out of that bubble, caring what people thought. Yeah, I started to care what people thought about me. Maybe not in a way that you would expect. It's more just like an awareness, right? Like when you are 40 plus, you've lived some lives, right? You've had some career moves and you've been around different kinds of people. And sometimes when I think about pressing publish on this stuff, I'm like, okay, well, all the people from high school about to say, hey, what color? Right? Like, what's she talking about now? Here she go praying on the internet or popping up here talking about being audacious. Okay, all my people from Mobile. Hey, from my TV days there. What's she doing? Like the awareness of like all the people I've collected in my life and then like showing up like I'm something. I'm just being real. That awareness, it just chips away at your confidence and your boldness. Even the best of us have felt that way before. Because what is the internet? Is like, what, how is it that people from second grade to my college professors to the woman who gave birth to my kids, how are y'all all just going to be an audience? What is that? It's a weird thing. But I want you to know you're not alone and feeling like that's an odd thing that you're going to show up and talk about how you lost 10 pounds and all these people are going to hear it. Um, and I'm still gonna have to work through that. But the thing about YouTube that I really liked is that I'm kind of like just, just another face over there. You don't have like, oh, she's the former Action News Jax news lady. Like, oh, she didn't the Fox 10 news lady. Or, oh, she went to FAMU. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know her husband. Come on, everybody. You know my husband. I know your husband. I love him. I love you. Like those people, love you guys, but y'all don't know me over there yet. I got 2 subscribers on this channel. 2. Hey, I think I may be one of them. On that one, maybe. Okay, so I there's this liberating feeling because I do carry this, what people are going to think about me. There's a liberating feeling like, you know what? It's a new territory. There are billions of people who are watching this thing. I got 2 subscribers. I have a no mascara. I have a messy bun. I don't even have the right microphone or camera to do this. But guess what? Your girl's going to be over there on that island of YouTube. And I feel good about that. Now, I will say, I'm not going to let this awareness of people like watching me and knowing about me, I'm not going to let that be. I'm actually working through that in therapy. Why is it that I was able to be super known when I had on the vest of news anchor? Welcome to Action News Jax. I'm Letitia Barriola coming up right now. Like I could be that, but when I have to be myself, why can't you do that as easily? What are you afraid of? I'm working through that because I do intend for YouTube to grow and I do intend all the people of my life to know what exactly I'm doing. But I'll have to admit that the space to start from scratch is feeling really good, and that's the reason why. One thing too I had to do to show up in this way is I had to change my podcast name again. So I started the podcast as Audacity, and it really captured where I was. I was a young woman working in TV news, really looking for audacity and boldness to take a great big leap out of everything I knew in my career and start something new. That podcast was a vehicle for me to pick the brains of people who've done extraordinary things. And it built up confidence in me and audacity in me. And it served its purpose. I was audacious enough to go out on my own and become an entrepreneur in 2022. Started coaching, consulting, producing podcasts for wonderful, brilliant people, won awards on my podcast journey, right? So that audacity took me somewhere. Then I felt like, I'm not really I don't need to be audacious anymore. Like past audacious Letitia got me here. And thank you, girl, because you did that. But I feel like I need to settle a bit. I feel like there's more to me than ambition to go after stuff. What does it look like to surrender and settle into the life that um, has folded out before you? And so I changed the podcast name to With Everything. I still love that podcast name because it really is like the core of me is like I'm gonna pursue with everything. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna always pursue him. I'm always gonna go after my purpose with all I've got, even though I got these off days. Like it really felt like me. But now I have realized as I reemerge now that sometimes putting a title over, like a mantle over the season and saying, like, this is who I am right now, that can feel limiting. And it can feel like I kind of have to always show up that way. And so I thought, what better way than to create freedom for myself in how I use my voice than by simply saying, this is the Letitia Barriola show. You're going to get a girl who, yes, is a God chasing, God fearing girl. You're also going to get a girl who's trying to raise a 10-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. You're also going to get a girl who's been married for 10 plus years to her college sweetheart. You're also going to get someone who has some big dreams to create generational wealth for her family and make an impact on the world for the glory of God. You're gonna get someone who is struggling to take care of herself. She's trying, but the older I get, the harder it is. So I'm constantly trying to just have cottage cheese and peaches. You're also gonna get the girl who's always trying to feel better in her skin. And I couldn't find a fancy title for that. It's just gonna be me. And that's gonna have to be enough. I had a ton of excuses. I've kind of talked about this, but I want you to know that we have a tendency to stall, especially I believe when we know we're on the brink of something great. We have a tendency to stall, especially when we know we're on the brink of something great. Maybe it's our brains protecting us. Maybe it's us subconsciously not believing we know all the things. But I think this is true. And I found myself with this debut on YouTube having a lot of excuses, which is why I feel pretty unprepared and not how I wanted to show up with you today. I don't have on mascara. Now this is a very serious thing. I don't have on mascara. What in what world do I not have on mascara and I'm on a screen? I just leave it at that. My hair is in a messy bun. I like a good bun, but this is not all the way how I want to be. I'm not in the place that I necessarily want to be. Y'all, I don't even have a microphone. The audio you're hearing is from me talking in this laptop. The camera video, this is not the video I wanted to show up with. But as I sat there thinking about all the things that weren't quite quite right, I realized, oh, look at all these excuses. Girl, I was making excuses. I'll put it off. I'll do when I get home. Da, 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 da. I said, oh no, nope, we're gonna stop that right now. Go gather your stuff, show up as you are, because if I want to be someone who consistently contributes my voice into the ecosystem of the world, that is constantly trying to barrage people with ideas and opinions and influence, if I want to be someone who adds to that, but in the best way I know how, um, that points them to a better life, points them to more peace and loving themselves. Like, if I want to be that girl, I can't also be a girl who's just going to make excuses about showing up. She's got to go. So here I am. I really am bothered I don't have mascara on, but we're going to keep it moving. finally, I want to say this. I told you about this master class that I went to with Glow. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I think it's Adamo. Followed her for years. Oh, poor her. And if you have been following her lately, you know she's on this journey of posting every single day. I think she's on day 150 or something on YouTube. And the results from her discipline and consistency are absolutely incredible. And just her overall philosophy and vibe about showing up, I really clicked with. So I went to her master class. I learned some really, really good stuff. And like I normally do, I came back and started strategizing. And I found the more and more I started strategizing around how I could create a YouTube channel that monetizes itself, becomes an asset in my business. The more I looked into how I could hack the algorithm and do all the things to make a dollar or two or thousands. I realized that I started to kind of brush away more and more around like who I really am. And oh, look, lower hand. Sorry, Zoom put a hand up because I was moving my hand. I started to see parts of me brush away and parts of me sort of be a chameleon to fit what I am understanding to be the cheat code to monetizing your YouTube channel. And so I felt God kind of nudging me, saying, "Do you trust me in this? Where is your heart? Where's your heart?" Because if it's to hack the system, beat the algorithm, and make $10,000 in a month because you figured it out, you're going to be able to do that. You would actually be very good at doing that. But if your heart is actually going on an adventure of how to hone and use your voice in this new world of video and YouTube world, to allow God to uniquely use you and for you to feel the purpose that happens when you're moving in your zone of genius, like, that's the best feeling ever. When you're moving in your zone of genius and when you are aware that you're moving and you're calling and you're using your gifts and like if you want that experience, you are going to have to trust me. You're going to have to really listen to what your gut and just like what your soul is wanting to say. And that's first, but also be savvy, right? Take these things that I've learned, savvy it up with some, some strategy, but that has to come first. So when I realized I was strategizing my way into just becoming less and less of me, I was like, oh, I have to just get on this camera. I have to start talking. I have to just show up as I am. And I think this is the first video, but doesn't matter. I think I know what I want. You know what I mean? Like I just had to hurry up and do it because I found myself kind of losing myself in the hacking of it. But listen, if you know you have a God-given anointing, calling, gift, there is no man that can stop the impact you will have. And since we're in 2026, there is no algorithm that can stop the purposes of your voice. So here I am. This path, I'm speaking to my upper 30s, early 40s, and plus and beyond. This is very liberating to do this right now. At this age, I've had a lot of experiences that have prepared me for this moment, but I also feel very new and bare and kind of like what is about to happen. And I just want to encourage you who felt like you've lived a couple lives now, you have so much more to give and say, to let this be the season that you step into your voice. Let this be the season. This is actually the perfect time. It's the perfect time. I'll be back. Welcome to the Letitia Barriola Show. Hey, podcast listeners, if you want to keep listening, keep listening. But if you want to pop over and see the messy bun and no mascara, come on to YouTube because I'll be here too.